Hey there, XRP family! Welcome back to the XRP Insider channel. I'm so glad you're here with me today. No matter where you're watching from around this amazing world of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Today, we're diving deep into some really important XRP developments, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So let's jump right in. I've got to share something that really caught my attention from Stuart Alderati. Here's what's happening. For the second time in just a few weeks, the New York Times published yet another guest essay, basically painting all of crypto as nothing more than a tool for criminals and corrupt people. Now look, I get it. That's a convenient story to tell. But here's the thing. It's just plain lazy and completely inaccurate. Here are the real facts that they don't want you to know. Over 55 million Americans are actively using crypto. More than 3/4 of them say it's genuinely improved their lives. People are using it to send money faster, prove ownership, and build incredible new forms of commerce. All of this happens on completely transparent, traceable ledgers. Think about it logically. Corruption and crime don't usually happen right out in the open where everyone can see, right? The truth is, this is really about everyday Americans like you and me, using digital assets to save precious time, cut costs, and most importantly, gain real financial freedom. And that's exactly what crypto does for us. It puts you on a direct path to financial freedom. But here's why they keep pushing this crypto equals crime narrative. They desperately want to keep us trapped in the traditional banking system. They want us completely tied to the banks because let's be brutally honest here. Nobody's getting rich by keeping their money sitting in a bank account, but you absolutely can get rich in crypto. Stablecoin regulations coming.
Now, listen very carefully to this next part because it's crucial. They're implementing national legislation that's directly tackling offshore issuers of non-local currency stablecoins. And this is a major financial stability concern. What they're really talking about is having onshore stablecoin issuers for dollar-based stablecoins right here in the United States. For those who might not know, Tether isn't actually located in the US. It's offshore. And the regulators are speaking directly about this company that's become quite the concern.
Importance of that. So I think it's now important for the main regulators to have the same view after they take the step of putting in place national legislation.
Yeah, and of course the problem that they're sort of tackling there is different for different jurisdictions. For a lot of jurisdictions, they're tackling the problem of offshore issuers of non-local currency stablecoins, which is an entirely different sort of financial stability concern than an onshore issuer of a dollar-based stablecoin in the US. I'll also say here, maybe just plugging our work a little bit, the Atlantic Council is going to be doing quite a bit of work with the G20 and the upcoming presidency of the G20 on stablecoin standardization, harmonization across G20 member states, at least as a starting point to get standards to the same place.
Global regulations are coming. What we're about to see is global stablecoin regulations rolling out everywhere. And most of these regulations are going to look very, very similar to MiCA. That's the European regulation framework. Here's the kicker. Tether simply cannot pass MiCA compliance, which means it's probably not going to be able to pass any other country's regulations either. That time bomb everyone's been talking about, it's still ticking away. The bubble discussion. Now, Tom Lee has some interesting thoughts on this. Take a listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, so I think Bitmine and obviously Strategy have been able to buck the trend that a lot of other digital asset treasury companies have suffered in terms of their price, especially relative to the net asset value of the holdings that they have. But do you worry that a broader bubble in the DAT space could negatively impact Bitmine if you see that bubble burst at all?
Oh, that's a great question. Maybe in some measurement ways, the bubble has burst anyways, don't you? I mean, if I don't have the numbers in front of me, but my guess is 80% of the DATs are trading below net asset value now. So if that's not already a bubble burst in the sense that how would that bubble burst? Because, like a crypto treasury shouldn't trade below NAV unless it was captively held crypto. because if you're a crypto treasury and you're trading below NAV, you can take action to restore your valuation. You can convert to an ETF. You could return all the crypto, so sell it and return cash, and people would come out ahead. So I think that, like, I'm not even sure I want to use the word bubble burst, but like I would say, is the market becoming discerning? I think it already has.
I've got to disagree with some analysts here. I don't believe the crypto bubble has actually burst yet. In fact, I think the real bubble pop is going to happen once proper regulations finally come into play. Even Brad Garlinghouse himself said that regulations could be the next black swan event. And here's why. Once you have solid regulations in place, it truly levels the playing field. Right now, we're still operating on a completely uneven playing field without proper regulations. Everything is still Bitcoin first. Let Bitcoin have an ETF first. Let's try this with Bitcoin first, before they even acknowledge that there are other incredible cryptocurrencies out there. The coming shakeup. But mark my words, the bubble hasn't popped yet. And when it finally does, it's going to be absolutely devastating for the crypto space. But here's the silver lining. Certain cryptocurrencies are going to emerge from this chaos stronger than ever. These will be the true, real value cryptocurrencies that survive and thrive. Think about it. Everything eventually gets a level playing field. Everything eventually hits a bottleneck. We saw this exact pattern with the dot-com bubble, and we're going to see it play out with the crypto bubble too. But I believe the crypto bubble is going to be much, much bigger, because it's not just going to affect cryptocurrencies. We're talking about exchanges getting hit, stablecoins facing major challenges, a massive transformation happening in a very short time frame. The phoenix rises. But here's what I'm most excited about. After this bubble finally pops, we're going to witness something incredible. And it won't just be XRP rising from the ashes. It's going to be a handful of cryptocurrencies that actually solve real-world problems. The smart money is already moving. Speaking of opportunity, check this out. Bitcoin ETF outflows are surging. And guess what's emerging as the next potential 100x plays? Solana, XRP, and other utility tokens that actually do something meaningful. Right now, we're watching money shift away from Bitcoin, and this is happening for a reason. Everyone keeps saying the ETFs are going to get their second wind, and Bitcoin will go parabolic again. Look, I do believe Bitcoin has one last major push-up before it comes crashing down. But here's why I think money is leaving those ETFs right now. People want to get positioned for the next big thing. Think about it. Solana, XRP, HBAR is going to have an ETF too. There are going to be others. People are already looking past Bitcoin because they're starting to realize something important. It's outdated technology. And honestly, it gets boring just buying something and holding it forever. You want your cryptocurrency to actually solve problems and have real utility. The market reset we need. Here's something every experienced trader knows. Every bull run has a point where fear peaks, charts look completely broken, and everyone swears it's all over. But that's not the end. That's the reset. This past week flushed out all the leverage, wrecked overconfidence, and set the stage for much cleaner upside moves. It's exactly how the market breathes before making its next big move. And that's exactly what we're waiting for right now. We're waiting for the crypto rebound to begin. I still believe by the end of this month, we could see the very beginnings of that rebound. There are still people saying XRP is going to print a new all-time high by the end of October. Now, I can't predict the future, but the fundamentals are certainly lining up. Institutional interest is exploding. Here's some massive news.
Justin from the $11 trillion Charles Schwab says interest in their crypto products is absolutely skyrocketing. They're seeing 90% more visits to their crypto site.
Yes, we've been active in both. So in crypto, we do offer crypto ETFs, Bitcoin futures, closed-end funds. In fact, our clients own 20% of all the crypto exchange-traded products in our country. So they've been very active. We've seen visits to our crypto site go up 90% in the last year. It's a topic that's of high engagement. And for privates, we have made private investments available to our clients. We've done through third-party managers like KKR and Apollo and folks like that. And we've also stood up a team of alternative experts. If you want to invest in alternatives at Schwab, you're going to need to talk to a professional and make sure they're right for you and to make sure you find the right strategy for you.
How much?
Now, they always like to tell their clients that crypto is very volatile, and maybe they shouldn't get invested right now. But here's the fact. Charles Schwab sees all the demand for crypto. It's the same story with all these other institutions that were so incredibly negative toward crypto during the regulatory crackdown. Now, all of a sudden, they're bullish on crypto, but they always sell that volatility narrative. You know what? That volatility is exactly what's going to lead you to financial freedom. The institutions are definitely lining up on the sidelines, getting ready to jump in. Global adoption is happening now. And get this, Russia tops Europe in crypto adoption with a staggering $376.3 billion in transfers. What's driving this massive surge? Russia's crypto boom signals that we're entering the sanctions era of finance going on-chain. Moscow's big money is pivoting to DeFi and stablecoin rails for cross-border settlements. Like I've been saying, every country that's been under sanctions is completely done with SWIFT. They want an alternative to SWIFT, and RippleNet and XRP are going to be that alternative. The FOMO wave is coming. If you don't position yourself now, you're going to miss out. We're already seeing Weimar vibes as Australians line up to buy physical gold. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see people lining up to buy XRP just like this when it's above $5, when it's above $10, when it's above $20. The FOMO is going to be absolutely incredible. Think about all those people you've told about XRP over time. Your coworkers, your friends. You've been trying to get them into XRP, right? But nobody wants to hear it when XRP is sitting at 50 cents. Nobody wants to hear it on a red day. Nobody wants to hear it when XRP is going sideways. But when XRP's price starts going parabolic, they're going to have this cryptocurrency purely on the fear of missing out. People always ask, well, who's going to be buying XRP at $20 or $100? The answer is everyone who didn't listen when it was 50 cents. I'm telling you right now, there will be a buyer at every single price on the way up. Just wait and see. Speaking of buying opportunities, here's something interesting. Investors are making up the highest share of home buyers in 5 years, according to CNBC. Now, for anybody wanting to get into real estate or maybe buy their first house, I always tell people the best way to get in is going to be through tokenization. Here's why this is genius. Think about it like this. You don't have to go through the massive process of buying a whole house. You could just buy maybe 10% of the tokens associated with a property. You're going to get passive income from it. But here's the beautiful part. If the neighborhood changes, maybe the renter moves out and you're not getting those returns anymore, you can easily pull out your investment and put it into a completely different property. You could even invest in commercial real estate through tokenization. The flexibility is incredible. Now, if you're planning to buy a house that you're actually going to live in, I definitely would not buy right now. I would wait until the crash happens. That crash has been delayed, but it's absolutely inevitable. It's coming. They're going to have to readjust real estate prices because right now, most people are completely priced out of buying a house. Only people with serious money are going to be buying houses in the future, and that's exactly what they want. It was always about you owning nothing and being happy. They want everyone to be a lifetime renter. But here's the beautiful irony. Because of XRP and your other smart investments, XLM,
XDC, HBAR, and so on, you're going to be able to buy a house with straight cash. But you never want to buy at the top. Treat everything in life the way you treat crypto. Always buy the bottom and sell the top. The legend holders.
And I thought this chart comparison was absolutely perfect because this doesn't just apply to Bitcoin. This applies to every single cryptocurrency you're invested in. If you hold through this current phase, you're a legend. If you held through the previous crashes, you're already a legend. Remember when we watched the breakout begin, even on XRP, and people were saying, oh, the top's in, this run is almost over. I think all XRP has done up to this point was simply correct. I don't think the real run has even begun yet for XRP. The psychology of price action. But here's what you're going to watch happen. You're going to see the XRP chart start making serious moves, and every single time it slows down and takes a quick breather, people are going to be calling the top. They're going to be telling you, take profit now. The top is in for XRP. I'm telling you, sell now. Only to watch it go even higher. And every time it stops for even a few hours, people are going to be saying, the top's in. And if it pulls back in the slightest bit, oh, that's it. XRP is going to crash out from here. Don't fall for this noise. Read the real signals. I'm telling you, you need to look around and see what's actually happening. Pay attention to the real-world events that are playing out right now. Ask yourself these key questions. Are people still bullish about XRP? Are we still waiting on another catalyst in the short term? What do the inflows look like on the XRP ETFs? This cycle is completely different. Here's what makes this cycle totally different from every previous cycle we've experienced. We didn't have ETFs back in 2021. We didn't have regulatory clarity coming in the short term back in 2021. We didn't have ISO 2022 ready to go live back then. We didn't have any of this. Think about it. Ripple possibly getting a banking license very soon. Possible IPO in 2026. Institutional infrastructure that simply didn't exist before. You've got to look at all the catalysts that could send XRP higher before you even consider selling. And honestly, I would definitely continue to hold most of my bag because I think we're going to see a run like we've never seen before. Don't try to be that guy, but everybody wants to be the guy who called the top because it gives them some sort of bragging rights, some sort of credibility. Oh, I called the top back in 2026. You know what though? Here's what it really comes down to. You can see it for yourself. You don't need someone else to tell you whether or not the top is in. There are going to be so many obvious signs as we watch the price go higher and higher, and that will give us clear signals, the real top indicators. Here's one major thing that's going to signal when the top is actually in for XRP. Are we getting institutional adoption? After we see major surges through the ETFs, the next thing we need to look at is real adoption happening for XRP. If we're still seeing companies onboarding to XRP, businesses utilizing the XRP ledger, organizations talking about creating XRP treasuries, then the top is not going to be in yet. But one thing's for certain, it's going to be a great time ahead, that's for sure. And that's the reality we're heading toward, XRP family. The foundations are being laid right now for something truly massive. This isn't 2021. This is something completely different, and the catalysts are stacking up like never before. Are you positioned for what's coming? What signals are you watching for? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I genuinely read every single one and love hearing your perspectives. If this breakdown helped you see the bigger picture of what's happening in crypto right now, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. You definitely don't want to miss what we're covering next, especially as these catalysts start playing out. Until next time, keep accumulating, keep watching those real signals, and keep building that financial freedom. The smart money is moving, the institutions are lining up, and we're just getting started.